And for more on our special G20 coverage, we have our correspondents joining us now. Nandita Dagar is joining us from the New Delhi airport, and Akshay Dongre is at the summit venue, that is Bharat Mandapam. First to Nandita, we know several world leaders have arrived in New Delhi, who all are expected to arrive in the hours to come.
Yes, we know that President Joe Biden, the president of USA, has already had his wheels up of the Air Force One, and he will be landing late evening today. And of course, the Italian Prime Minister, Miss Giorgia Meloni, is already here. Several delegates, and they are being received by several very special emissaries from Prime Minister Modi. So it's a huge moment for India, because India has been on the rise for the past decade or so in terms of its economic, military, soft power might as well, and this would be the cherry on the cake, or the icing on the cake, as it were, as India is hosting the G20 summit with heads of state of US, France, all these G20 countries, many of whom Prime Minister Modi shares good personal rapport and camaraderies with. He's already met President Joe Biden in May and had a state visit there, the first ever by any Indian head of government. So India has already rolled out the red carpet. More than 200 meetings have taken place all across the country in the last 1 year, and the delegates, of course, have had a chance. The ones representing in the working groups, as well as the the Sherpa tracks, the finance tracks, the engagement groups, they have got an idea of India's rich culture, traditions, food, cuisine. Every part of India has had a different experience, and these meetings, because this was Prime Minister Modi's very own idea, that let's not just restrict the G20 meetings to Delhi alone. Let's have them in all parts of the country. Let's give them a flavor of India's northeast. So they were held in Nagaland, Mizoram, in India, in Goa, so all these places. And India is assuming the role of a global leader, as you know, Tanvi, because all the world leaders, they look upon Prime Minister Modi and India for future direction in challenges such as climate change, terrorism, eradication of poverty, the also ending of conflict, because as we saw in the Ukraine war, we saw so many world leaders talk to our Prime Minister Modi, our Foreign Minister, they spoke to his counterparts about the Ukraine conflict. So India holds a very, very prominent place and does have the bargaining power now, as we have arrived on the world stage. So It is a very befitting moment. It's an honor for me also for covering this
indeed.
part of the national broadcaster
all of us, and a lot
of our country.
Yes, and a lot is on India's shoulders to find solutions to the most pressing global issues right now. Let me go over to Akshay Dongre now. Akshay is at the summit venue. Akshay, you're at the heart of action there. It all starts tomorrow. Tell us what bilateral meetings are expected on the sidelines apart from the main summit.
Well, the most important, and one of the most important rather, Tanvi, a bilateral meeting will take place today. As soon as Joe Biden arrives here in New Delhi, he will be straight going to the residence of the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and the two leaders will have bilateral meetings. They will be discussing a lot of issues that have been on the agenda. But there are more than 15 bilateral meetings that are planned in these 3 days that will start from today. So besides the US, the Prime Minister is going to hold meetings with Bangladesh, Mauritius, and that these meetings will take place at his own residence. There are other meetings that are planned tomorrow, in fact a range of them, and besides the G20 summit, there will be bilateral meetings with Prime Minister of UK, there will be a meeting with Japan, there will be a meeting with Germany and Italy, and even on 10th there will be a small meeting with the French President. There will be pull-aside meetings with Canada, there will be a bilateral meeting with Comoros, there will be Turkey, UAE, South Korea, European Union. So all of these are meetings that are decided, that are going to take place in the next few days. And these are highly placed sources that are giving us this information about these planned bilateral meetings. So a lot on the agenda. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to have very busy 3 days. He will be meeting leaders after leaders, and besides the meetings that will take place here at the Bharat Mandapam of the G20, where all all these leaders who are arriving in New Delhi will gather. There will be other meetings as well that will be on the sidelines of the G20 summit. So we can expect a lot of these issues, especially that concern the global south, issues that concern Indo-Pacific, issues that concern economy, food crisis. All of these are to be discussed as far as not just the G20 agenda, but the bilateral agendas are concerned. Tanvi?
Okay. Thank you, Akshay Dongre. Thank you, Nandita Dagar, for tracking these updates of the G20 summit for us. Now, here's an exclusive preview of the delegates' offices at the summit venue Bharat Mandapam by India's chief G20 coordinator Harshvardhan Shringla.
So we are just a few hours away from the New Delhi G20 summit, and we are here at the Bharat Mandapam. This is the delegate center, hall number 14, where the official delegations will be housed. So this is where we start. Here we see the Mother of Democracy exhibition, and this exhibition really traces the evolution and the history of democracy in our country. We are the largest democracy in the world. You can see that these are all interactive panels. They tell a story through the historic evolution of our times. Here you can see that there is a formal welcome tableau which has the flags of all of these countries are here, and here it is in several different languages. You know, you can see Shwagatam in Bangla, you have Bienvenue in French, you have it in German, Willkommen. Every G20 language is represented in this tableau. And here we have again a panel that indicates all of the different areas of this hall. Whichever area you want to go to is here in the interactive panel. There are country offices, so we can go to some of them. There are 29 offices of different countries, the G20 invitee countries, and 14 offices of international organizations. Let us look at the US country office. You have the flags of both the guest country as well as our flag. You have all facilities. There are laptops, there are photocopiers, there are workstations, there is a seating area here. And an inner office for the senior delegates, ministers, etc. They can spend time here. You also have a conference table here. Through these televisions, you will get a live screen images of all the discussions at the summit room. This is an area where delegates can sit down and they can spend some more informal time. They can meet other delegation members. So here you see a very nice background. This is a selfie point. International delegates can come here and take photographs and take memories of India's G20 New Delhi Summit 2023. We come to a very special part of our delegate center. The first pavilion on our right side as you come in is the RBI Innovation Hub. And this RBI Innovation Hub will exhibit some of the latest cutting-edge fintech initiatives. You can see the Digital India Experience Zone, and this is basically going to showcase the India Stack, showcase all the digital public infrastructure, right from Aadhaar to UPI. There is a very interesting one which is e-Sanjeevani portal, from which any delegate who is suffering any sickness or any malady can come here, digitally consult a doctor, get immediate medication, get immediate prescriptions, and he will have the advantage of the best medical treatment digitally. You have Bhashini, you have DigiLocker, you have Diksha, Aadhaar, UPI. So this Digital India Experience Zone is a very special one. It will enable us to showcase India's cutting-edge technologies to the world that will come here from the 9th and 10th of September 2023.